Hey everybody. So I just wanted to take a minute and do a quick video on how to make your own Eki stamps using linoleum. I've had people reach out to me, and they were interested in doing it, but they're like, I'm not artistic, I don't know that I could do it. When I started this a couple months ago, I'd never done it either. I just thought it'd be kind of cool because having been to Japan, the whole Eki stamp collecting thing was something that we really enjoyed. And so I thought, well, why not do a Star Wars tie-in with Celebration? And so I just started doing it. Basically, investment-wise, you're probably $35 maybe. The kit to get for the carving, like the speedball thing's I think that's about 15, and then the linoleum blocks, you can get a pack of, I think it's 6 or 8 for about 20. But all in, it's not a huge investment. You can just do your own design. I use Photoshop, and I just create a design. You want to keep it simple. The linoleum carving, at least for me, I'm not that great at the details, and the bits are not that small. So you're dealing with a small space. It's about 4 inches, 4 by 5, I think is the actual linoleum block. So you want to keep it kind of basic because you'll get stuck in the weeds otherwise. But it's really super simple, and I just hope people give it a shot because it'll be a cool collectible for you and fun to do in the process, and you can just be creative. People do other methods too. You can do, if you want something more detailed, if you have access to like a laser cutter, just make sure you get the correct linoleum so it doesn't catch fire. You want something that can tolerate that. There are other things, other tools like router tools you could try to use too. But this is just the method I use. So I just wanted to share it in case anybody else is interested in giving it a shot. All right, so you've settled on your design. It is the correct size, so it will fit on the linoleum block. Now it's time to transfer the design onto the linoleum so you can start hacking away. I use this wax-free tracing paper. I don't know that they make carbon copy paper anymore. That would work as well. But that's basically how you're going to transfer the design onto the linoleum before you start carving. Okay, so now you've got your tracing paper. You just want to cut it basically to the size of your design, maybe a skosh more. All right, so you've got that. Now the one thing you want to remember is that you want it in reverse. So do not, if it's looking you right in the face, that's the wrong way to do it. You want to make sure that it's reversed because you're basically carving out the other direction. So you put the colored side down in this case, put your reverse on top of it, kind of line it up if you can. You'll have, if your design has enough room, you'll be okay. If you aren't completely straight, you can rectify that later. Then you just want to tape down your design like so. See, now I can see that mine's not adjusted properly, so I need to make sure it's properly adjusted so that I'm not too close to the edge when I go to carve it. Okay. All right, and then what you want to do is you want to take a pen or pencil, and you basically want to trace around the lines. So now you've got it all traced out. Now it's time to see if you got it all transferred over. And you can reuse the paper more than once if you want to make more. I've noticed that the blue color, they come with a bunch of different colors. The white is pretty much useless, obviously, if you're using a white linoleum pad, but it also comes with like red and yellow. Yellow's a little harder to see too, but you can kind of see this is what you end up with. Obviously not perfect, but you have your original there as well that you can reference as you're carving. So next up, we're going to start carving. All right, so hopefully you've got some linoleum cutters and a handle. This is SD brand. I have no idea where I got this. Speedball makes them. There's a whole number of manufacturers. I must have gotten this overseas because it has a bunch of different flags on it. I had also bought extra bits because they do, after you use them for a while, they can go dull. But it comes with a handle and these different types of whatever you call these, carvy things. So you can see they're all different sizes and they're all different things. They have different angles of wedge. There's smaller ones that are really finer and deeper. I still have no idea what this is for, except maybe cutting myself. I don't know. I do that with the other bits, so it's not like I need that. But anyway, there's quite the assortment. So I normally start with the smaller ones for detail, and then as you get, the close work done, then you can go in with a thicker one like this and try to gouge out the extra so it's a little bit faster. Ultimately, what you're going to do is you're going to carve all this out, and then the pieces that you leave are the pieces that are going to leave the impression, which is why you need to do it in reverse. Okay, so next up, you can just trim off the excess of the design. Give yourself a little bit of a gap, but then you can just go ahead and cut the edges off.
Clearly I didn't cut straight, but that's actually fine. Shouldn't impact the design. But you can just trim off the excess like so. Just like that. Now you're ready to test it out. Okay, so now we're going to test out our stamp. You just want to find an empty page to try it on. And I got this at Michael's, I believe. You'll want a larger size one. These pads, by the time you're done making it, it'll end up being about 4 inches. So you'll want a big one. You don't want to have to like put little edges of it. You want to be able to just set the dang thing in there like this and just kind of push it down. Make sure you get ink on it all over the place. Hopefully this isn't dried out. You can kind of check it and see if you have enough ink on it. It still looks like it needs some more. So I've used this for a lot of stamps, so it may be low. Okay, so there you go. You've got it inked up. Take it, pop it down. Not straight, obviously. Just give it a push to reveal your masterpiece. There you go. Obviously, it depends on how much you ink it, how clear it gets. But this is basically what it ends up like. And so if you look, you can see the original design here versus what it looks like after it's carved. So, I mean, it's not identical, obviously. I'm not an expert by any means, and it's kind of hard doing detail with these tools. So, but I enjoy doing it. So anyway, there you go. That's how to make your own stamp. So one other thing, if you want to finish it off, if you want to mount it, what I've been doing is I've gone to, well, these particular ones, I've gotten them at other places too, but Dollar Tree sells these wooden plaques that you can modify. Basically what I'll do is I'll take the design and I'll hold it up, you know, see about where it fits. This one's a little bit longer, so I would have to make adjustments to the wood. But basically you just figure out where it fits, cut it off, and then sand it and paint it. Basically what they end up looking like at the end is a little something like this. So you've got the stamp on one side, and then it's painted and finished on the other. And I just use Gorilla Glue to attach it, so it's not that difficult. The one thing to remember is when you're putting a flexible surface on a rigid surface, you will have to kind of rock the stamp just because it's not completely flat, just because the wood has imperfections in it. Obviously, if the glue isn't completely dried flat, then that could also be an issue. But just something to keep in mind. Just to give you an idea of the ones I've kind of done, just so you have examples of different designs. This is Perdilla, there's Cetos. That's how they turned out. You've got Andor, which I have already given to somebody. There's also Bunta Station, because I'm bringing Wizard back. Then we've got Kashyyyk and Ryloth. So you can see how those kind of turn out. And each one's got kind of different detail to it. You got to kind of wing it while you're doing it too, because sometimes the design doesn't really want to cooperate. This is Lethal. Then I also have Celos, which that's, like I said, it's a case of where it's mounted. You got to kind of rock it, and I over inked this particular copy of it, so that didn't help. Hoth, somebody has. Then I've got, this is what Dagobah looks like. And then Scarif. And Alderaan. I mean, who doesn't want an Asteroids tie-in? Geonosis, because Click Clack needs his own stamp. And then Ryloth again, and Endor, Kashyyyk. There are a couple other ones that I did. I did a design for Jeremy, and then I made him a stamp for Toto to kind of go with it. And then I did one for his wife, this Hope Station. And then I did one for Aaron Holder, which is Handler Station. He has a Timmy's problem, so yeah, that's what that one turned out like. I think that's pretty much all of them. So anyway, there you have an idea of what you can do. Hope you guys go to it and have fun.